In the heart of a brutal Michigan winter, where icy winds howl and snow blankets everything in sight, a chilling discovery was made. 35-year-old Diana Mercer was found dead, submerged in the frozen water of her backyard pool. It was the middle of February, a time when no one would willingly go for a swim. The official story from her husband Tyler was that it was a tragic accident, but for those who knew the couple, that explanation was as thin as the ice on the pool's surface. Diana and Tyler were in the throes of a vicious divorce. Their arguments were legendary in the neighborhood, a constant soundtrack of anger and resentment filtering through the walls. They fought over everything: custody of their 2 children, their finances, the very house they once called a home. Their marriage wasn't just collapsing, it was imploding. Yet, no one could have predicted it would end like this, in the icy depths of a backyard pool. The morning Diana was found, Tyler painted a picture of confusion and panic. He told police he woke up to an empty bed. He said he searched the house, calling her name, before his search led him outside. And there, he claimed, he found her body, motionless in the frozen water. His theory: she must have slipped on the ice while outside for some unknown reason, fallen in, and drowned. A simple, tragic accident. But detectives are trained to see beyond the simple stories. They looked at the scene with a critical eye, and the narrative Tyler presented began to unravel almost immediately. 2. The first major red flag was the snow. The pristine, untouched blanket of white surrounding the pool showed only one set of footprints. Tyler's. There were no tracks leading to the pool's edge that could have been Diana's. How could she have fallen in without leaving a single mark in the snow? Then there was Diana herself. Her family and friends were adamant. Diana hated the cold. She was the type of person who bundled up in layers at the slightest chill. Yet, she was found wearing only her pajamas. It made no sense for her to venture out into the freezing February air so lightly dressed, especially not near a frozen pool. It was completely out of character. The pieces just weren't fitting together. The investigation began to pivot from a potential accident to something far more sinister. Detectives secured a warrant to search Diana's phone, and what they found sent a shiver down their spines. In her drafts was an unsent message, written the night she died. It read, "I'm afraid of what he might do next." The message didn't specify who he was. But in the context of their volatile divorce, investigators had a strong suspicion. It was a digital ghost, a silent scream from beyond the grave. BS. Search of the Mercer home continued, and in the garage, another crucial piece of evidence emerged. Hidden away was a damp towel. When tested, it showed traces of the specific chemicals used in the family's pool. Why would a wet pool chemical-laced towel be in the garage in the middle of winter, especially when the official story was a simple slip and fall? It suggested a cleanup, a clumsy attempt to erase evidence. 2. The autopsy report delivered the final damning blow to the accident theory. The medical examiner found water in Diana's lungs, confirming drowning as the cause of death. But that wasn't all. They also found signs of blunt force trauma and a distinct, deep bruise on her shoulder, consistent with being forcefully grabbed or pushed. Most importantly, the evidence suggested she was likely unconscious before she entered the water. She hadn't accidentally fallen. She had been incapacitated and put there. With this new evidence, the case transformed entirely. What Tyler had desperately tried to frame as a winter mishap was now officially a homicide investigation. The question was no longer if Diana was murdered, but how to prove who did it. The detectives brought Tyler in for another round of questioning, this time armed with the inconsistencies in his story and the damning physical evidence. They confronted him about the lack of footprints, the strange text message, the wet towel, and the bruises on his wife's body. As the pressure mounted, Tyler's calm demeanor reportedly began to crack. His story started to shift. He offered new details and alternative explanations, but each one seemed to dig him into a deeper hole. Detectives noted his defensive posture and inconsistent answers. Innocent people might be distraught or confused, but they don't typically change their story multiple times when confronted with hard evidence. The focus of the investigation now locked onto Tyler. They delved into his finances, his communications, his alibi or lack thereof. Day. They learned the divorce proceedings were not going in his favor. Diana was likely to get the house and primary custody of the children. For Tyler, the stakes were incredibly high. Did he see murder as the only way out? The only way to win a fight he was destined to lose? Today, the case is still navigating the slow, grinding wheels of the justice system. Tyler maintains his innocence, holding to his story of a tragic accident, despite the mountain of evidence against him. Diana's 2 young children now live with her sister, their lives forever altered. They are left with fragmented memories and the heartbreaking question of why their mother is gone. They know she went to sleep one night and simply never woke up. For Diana's family, the wait for justice is agonizing. They attend every court hearing, holding on to the hope that the truth will finally be brought into the light. They remember Diana as a loving mother and a vibrant woman who was on the cusp of starting anew. Happier chapter in her life, a chapter that was brutally torn away. This case serves as a chilling reminder that the most dangerous place for a person can sometimes be their own home. It shows how a seemingly perfect family portrait can hide a dark and terrifying reality. Accidental falls don't leave bruises that look like a struggle. Uninvolved husbands don't have wet towels with pool chemicals hidden in their garage. And an unsent text message can sometimes be the most powerful testimony of all. The snow in that Michigan backyard has long since melted, but the cold, hard facts of this case remain, waiting for their day in court. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.